Welcome. It's Friday. We're live at the Nutmeg Tavern. Apparently the saddest music in the world was just playing. I couldn't hear it, so
it's a funeral dirge.
It's been
It's all one file that's just playing in the background.
It's been a wonderful week, but a very tiring week. But welcome into the Nutmeg Tavern. Everyone, come in, have a seat. We're gonna have fun today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about. It's going to be a busy live stream. In fact, this is our 100th live stream. Yeah. So yay! Welcome. Behind the bar here, troublemaker Ryan. He's mixing the drink today, and this is a drink for everyone today. This one's going to be easy, simple. Thank you, Ryan. On the other side of time, there's this like time warp that's happening here, and in the other century, where you guys are at, behind the console is Aaron. He's making that live stream happen, and he's
giving you the saddest songs.
Yes, he's dealing. He's playing the saddest songs ever on his little miniature violin. And
miniature violin.
yeah. And Kyle is in the question seat. He's
just back
in
here
the
being
chat.
sad.
Yes, he's sad too. He's looking for those questions. If you want to pepper me with difficult questions, well, there's just nothing like being
there you go.
peppered.
There you go, everybody. Pepper those tough questions.
And I'll go, oh. Anyway. What's up first?
I'm
today?
making lemonade. This is for all you miners out there. No alcohol today.
No alcohol today. Although I'm sure some of their lemonades were probably...
They were. I've seen several different types of alcohol going into lemonade while I was reading today.
Right.
But the funny thing, I think the big change from how I would make lemonade with my kids is there's a ton of sugar. Most recipes called for a pound of sugar for 2 quarts of water.
Maybe their pound was smaller.
Maybe. I don't know. One of them clearly said 16 ounces. But for 2 quarts of water, which is nuts. We're not going to do all that. I don't want John going crazy. And most of the recipes called for orange as well. So we're going to have some orange in there.
Sometimes
I'm going to get to work on that.
Orange flower water going into it, or even rose water. They do all kinds of interesting, fun stuff with their lemonade. How about a question or two to start us out?
All right, here we go. This is not a question, but they want you to give a shout out for their professor at Cambridge University, Yvonne Salmon.
Okay.
Who told all her students about your channel and
Excellent.
is currently ill.
Aw. Well, Yvonne, it was Yvonne, right?
Yes.
I hope you get so much better. Hope you're feeling better soon. It is always... There's nothing like feeling ill, and actually today's book has a little bit about feeling ill in it, so I hope you're feeling better. But welcome, especially if you're enjoying this live stream. Thank you.
Were there any silly conspiracy theories in colonial era America?
Silly conspiracy theories? Certainly there were conspiracy theories. I'm not sure if I've got any off the top of my head that I can relate, but there were a lot of interesting like superstitions and things that we would consider kind of funny little superstitions. Of course, we still have those same things. I mean, just about everybody has some like, those are my lucky socks kind of thing that they have in their life. They certainly had a lot of that, as well as standard, old wives' tales that they always stuck with. So there were those kinds of things that were kind of common, conspiracy theories. But I think they had certainly bigger conspiracy theories in mind, also sort of geopolitical conspiracy theories. I just don't have any off the top of my head.
Other than the Bible, do you know the most popular book in the 18th century? Or was there just too many to really know?
There were some, actually, I remember who, I remember actually hearing or reading about something close to that concept just in the last couple of days, and unfortunately, it's fleeing my mind. But another super popular one, of course, it's very on topic. What's Bunyan's book about, traveling through life is a
Pilgrim's Progress?
yes, there he is, Pilgrim's Progress. So that's another one of those super popular books of that time period. But the book that I was thinking of wasn't necessarily religious in nature. I'm so sorry. But yes, there was certainly a lot of things being published. We might think, there wasn't. It was just a ton of really, really interesting things. I wish I had the time to read them all, and some of them can be very laborious to read because they were so much more flowery in their language. They can be a real slog to get through. But there's some really neat stuff. I mean, hidden in there.
Some of those travel journals are like,
Yeah.
I'm going to describe every cloud
Yeah,
and every
yeah,
tree
exactly.
in detail.
Yeah, and you're thinking, come on, get to the interesting parts.
But that's probably us in
Yes.
21st century
Exactly.
in that way. And
Oops, wrong drink.
Uh-oh. That's
What?
an old drink.
Yeah, don't want that
Drink.
one. It's probably green and fuzzy by now.
I want to get some donations real quick. And thanks to everyone who's donated so far.
Please.
Appreciate it. Aaron C., thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
This music makes me think that the Titanic is about to sink. Yeah. We'll talk about this music here in a second.
Yeah.
Tim, thank you. Teddy the Fourth, thank you.
Thank you, Teddy.
What were early American 4th of July celebrations like? Was the first one in 1784, or were there celebrations even during the war? How big were they? And then two donations from Dio Bando. They both say, I love you, John. So there you
Well,
go.
thank you.
love,
Thank
much
you.
love. Oh, one more.
Yes.
Just came in. I'll get it. Might as well. Oh man, I don't know. Jewy
I love it when
Silver.
you guys
Yeah.
give him hard ones. Go ahead.
No. Thank you for your videos. I've enjoyed them for a long time. Thanks. I'll look up the pronunciation of your name. I'm sorry about that.
So, 4th of July. Wow. I know that there are certainly particular ones. The first one that I don't have a good, quick answer for that one. Hasn't been something I've read about recently.
Good question, though.
It is a really good question, and I'm not sure that fireworks were a thing, but I know that they would read the Declaration of Independence and those sorts of celebrations. But boy, I'll bet you there's some great information out there on this particular question. So, unfortunately, not off the top of my head.
Man, I gotta say that lemon smell is
Yeah, it is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
coming over.
It smells good.
It's looking like a mess back there,
John doesn't
too.
like what he just saw, but
Yeah.
man,
It's
it
like,
smells
oh.
good.
It's like watching sausage being made. Just don't look.
Oh, that person's name, it's Joey Jip. Thank you. Sorry. Appreciate the donation.
Man.
So let's talk about the book I want to talk about today before we get to a lot of this other stuff. There was a comment, and I'm not sure even what it was. I was going through the comments, and I go through them a lot. Probably these guys get mad at me when I go through the comments because it's like, don't do it, John. Don't do it.
I'm not angry.
Well, okay. They get upset.
Furious.
They get, yeah. And but there was such a really good comment. I think it was in reviews, and I had to approve it because I had a link into it. And the link was dohistory.com, and the book, the link is about this particular book or about this particular person. This is Martha Ballard's book or diary. There's a book called A Midwife's Tale, and it's based upon this diary of Martha Ballard. And it's just an incredibly interesting diary and an incredibly interesting book that the author goes through and interprets a lot of this diary for us. So diaries are fun to read, but it's even better when you have someone to come along beside you and explain a lot of what's going on in the diary and connect it with other books or other diaries and other information so that you can really get a full picture of what's going on in the diary. Martha Ballard was a midwife. She was married. She was living in in Maine, which probably wasn't called Maine at the time, but way up north there, compared to the 13 colonies that we're used to, a difficult area to live in, especially during the 18th century, cold. This isn't even at the low end of Maine. This is sort of, middling part of Maine there. So, and this diary, she really goes into detail about the health things that she's dealing with. So she's a midwife. She's helping pregnant women. She's also just being a regular medical person, helping out people that are ill. She deals with preparing people if they've died, which is really interesting that she deals with this item. But that isn't all she does. It explains preparing of different kinds of foods. It explains preparing textiles. And we get to see some of her family's life, what her husband's doing, what her sons are doing. Incredible things happen during this diary. There's a mass, a family murder situation. There are different kinds of law things that she's drawn into where she has to testify in court. So the diary just has a ton of information. One of the interesting kind of side parts about it is you get to see what's happening with the money. We get questions on the channel a lot about how are people getting paid? Do they trade things? What's going on with this? And this is a perfect example of what's going on with both how people earn money and what's happening, how they exchange that value or worth for something they do. So this family is making money in a lot of different kinds of ways. They have a sawmill. They have a grain mill. They're also doing other things like selling textiles or yarns, as well as the job that she does doing medical services and other little things. Inside the journal, we can see sometimes she gets paid in money. Sometimes she gets paid in goods themselves, and other times she gets paid with credit at the local store. So it's like, well, I don't have the money to give you, and I don't even have things that you need, but I will sort of tell the store that they owe you, 14 shillings or something like that. So super interesting book for all that kind of information that comes together. I can't recommend the book enough for people who want to understand the daily life of people in the 18th century. This is late 18th century, so 1785 up until she dies in 1812. But this is a long period of time that the diary is going on. So the book has just sort of excerpts of the diary and a lot of extrapolation and explanation. If you want to see what the diary is like, go to the website, thenewhistory.com, and go to the diary link. You can see the pages themselves and how hard they would be to actually read, because her handwriting is not easy to read. She was probably using that iron gall ink that continues to eat into the paper, so it makes it harder and harder to read over time. But there's some interpretation there, and they also have some different sort of topics set aside, and you can see the interpretation of the diary there too. So, wow, just an amazingly wonderful resource. There's even an appendix in the back of the book that has a section where she talks about references to individual types of herbal medicines that she does. So medicine she buys, medicines where she's talking about making poultices out of things she's picking out of the field. So we get a great picture of kind of family medicine, what family life is like, how people are making money, how they're interacting in so many different ways. So it's just an incredibly good book.
I'm going to read some donations because we got a whole bunch. And first, really, really nice donation from Dio Bando.
Thank you.
It says, a couple really good donations. Thank you very much. It says, happy 100th stream. We are very thankful for your donations. That's really nice.
Thank you.
Let's see. Where did I leave? I want to get that one first because it was super nice. Spinther, I believe.
Okay.
Are there reenactors that play jerks or mean people? Thank you.
I think I know what he wants to know.
RKLERKX123. Thank you. Can you dance 18th century style? And this is another donation from Dio Bando. What's your favorite, most memorable recipe you've done so far? It's a good question. Jim Lindley, thank you. A pound of sugar per quart. My teeth would hurt, right?
Yeah.
Teddy the Fourth says, I Googled it and it didn't cost $5. First celebration in Philadelphia in 1777 and included the fireworks. Became bigger after the War of 1812. National holiday in 1870. Okay.
Right.
There we go. Brilliant Love 2. Thank you. Greetings. I've been binging your old videos. So excited to make it on a live chat. Thank you for all you do. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Max are cool. Thank you.
Max.
Congrats on the 100th live stream. You folks are amazing. Thanks so much. This is Lientie, I believe. How hard was life post-revolution? Any regrets? All right. Thanks so much, everyone.
Yeah.
This is pretty awesome. Yeah, a lot of good questions in there, too.
Right. So, jerks for reenactors. Are you out there, Carol? I bet she is.
Portraying a jerk.
Yeah. No. Portraying. We're reenactors. Carol does Lady. What's her name? Lady
Caroline.
Lady Caroline. There you go. So Lady Caroline, let's just say Lady Caroline isn't the nicest person that you've ever interacted with in your life. But the regular person is a very nice person. So Lady Caroline, that's the example that pops off the top of my head for reenactors who do people that aren't the easiest folks to get along with. That can be difficult to do, and I think even she finds that not very necessarily easy to do. Do I do 18th century dance stuff? No. But Rick and Hillary, a lot of times they'll do music for dances, and Hillary, do you guys even do calling of the dance thing occasionally? I don't know.
If people are local to us,
yeah.
The Medicinal 1812 event has a dance every year.
Right, and many times they play for that. So
yes,
yeah. So that is a part of some reenactments, and really it is one of the most interesting parts. A lot of times, though, the public doesn't get to see that. Sometimes that's happening after hours and kind of reenactors only kind of a thing. So I've got old written down here, but I forgot what the question was.
What was it?
What was the question after dance? Was there another one? No.
No. Favorite, most memorable recipe.
Oh, yeah. Favorite. What do you guys think? They all run together for me. I enjoy them all.
Tell you what, the one coming out Monday was pretty awesome.
The ones that we haven't done yet. Well,
we've done it.
You're just gonna have to wait for Monday's episode. I can't even remember which one
we're outside.
Thinking of.
That question usually pops up every other week, and I believe you usually say like white pot.
Yeah,
white pot.
But I don't. I'm tired of saying that one.
Yeah.
I'm tired of saying
to move on.
The fried chicken was good. It was really good.
That one was awesome. That was definitely one of the best ones. For sure.
You know, when I did the roast beef on the string.
Yeah,
talk about simple. Yeah. It doesn't just get any simpler than that, and it was really.
It does get simpler than that. Baked onion gets.
Baked onion is simpler than that. That is true. Baked onion was good. There are a lot of fun, simple recipes. So there you go.
I'm sure if I looked at a list, I could probably pop some out. But off top, man, we've done so many. It's just
cream puffs were really good.
Yeah, somebody actually just said that one looked really good.
The Parmesan onion rings was my first one that I was around for, and that one was really good too.
That one was really good.
Well, and the Parmesan ice cream they did down at Conner Prairie.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I liked your Baker's pudding recipe.
The Baker's pudding is really good.
What was the other one? Man, I have
Yeah,
more
the one we
awesome
did
donations.
outside for Monday is probably,
That's
but
like
that's
a top.
cheating. That's just totally cheating.
It's not though. It was in the book.
It's in
It
the
was
book.
delicious.
It's in the book. It's in the book.
It's simple too.
Had a lot of people naming off all of their favorite recipes right
Great.
now.
Mac
Great.
and cheese.
Mac and
yeah,
cheese,
that was
Bring it
big.
bacon.
macaroni and cheese was good.
Standing meat pie,
Yeah.
pepper pot.
See how much trouble. No, how am I supposed to pick out the good one, right? When like 90% of them are, hey, this is really good. And then there's the ones that aren't.
Oh, they're all good. They're all great.
There was the how I think that last question was, how hard was life after the revolution?
Right, post-revolution. Yep.
Right, and I think they mean, did the war cause a lot of difficulties for people? I don't believe nearly as much as, say, the difficulties of, other wars and their aftermath. The Revolutionary War, in its, obviously it was a kind of a big thing that was happening, but in comparison to other wars, it really wasn't that huge, which seems strange. Compared to, say, the American Civil War, virtually nobody fought it. It was just minuscule in comparison.
That's so.
Yeah, isn't that? It's weird. So the impact that it has on civilian life is a lot less. So I don't think it was all that hard for standard people. Obviously not directly, other than the people that were directly affected, deaths, or they were, their homes were taken away because they were Tories or, loyalists or whatever. So, other than those kinds of issues, I don't think it was as impactful to society in general as a lot of the other sort of wars. There's a short answer there. Before I get a whole lot further, I want to talk about this. Is this the music that was playing today?
Yes.
Yeah, it's playing right now.
There we go. So, the Sons of Liberty, we've done a couple of videos, at least one.
Yeah, one video. with them.
Where these, a couple is like three brothers. They're brothers, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, three brothers. We met them down at Martin Station, talked to them several different times. We carried their first CD. This is their second one, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. If you're interested in some young guys doing just such a tremendous job, violins, and I think they play some cello and whatnot. Great music. That is what. You're
I'm not
laughing back
laughing at
there.
you.
Laughing. Okay. He's laughing at. I think he's laughing because he's making the lemonade and he's like, I don't want to
I
know.
put an orange ring on the side of your glass to be fancy,
And a boop.
and it was obnoxiously large. It was bigger than your glass, and it cracked me up.
Anyway,
It doesn't take much to
if
make
you're-
me laugh.
if you're interested in this music, this DVD or CD is available on our website. You got a link.
Yep, just
in
all
the-
the CDs. There's
Great.
this top left.
Excellent. And you did put a link if the folks are interested in the Midwife's Tale or,
Yeah, I put it in chat. Hang on.
or
I'll
the
put it in one more
website.
time. Yeah, I put both those in.
both of those links are available. You can check out the website, obviously, for nothing. And if you're interested in the book, again, can't recommend it enough.
Yeah.
I think there's even an audio version of it.
So I have more donations, but I say we'll do them in a little bit. We've been doing it.
So
Okay.
on the CD, real quick.
Yes.
I will say
Yes.
it sounds great. A lot of times,
Yeah.
you're like, these three brothers made a CD. No, it's
No.
professionally recorded. It sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Do we do more? Are we ready for the drink?
Yeah. I just.
We're ready for the drink when the drink comes out.
Oh, what a
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll just.
This is my establishment.
I'll stick with the drink that I've got then until the drink comes out. Service isn't quite what you'd expect it to be in the Nutmeg Tavern at times.
How about I serve up some questions?
Whoa.
Whoa, that is good.
All right, here we go. Where did they get their lemons in the 18th century, and were they readily available?
Good question. A lot of people have this question. I even somebody was asking me on a radio interview just like earlier this week about nutmeg and how strange it is. Nutmeg, lemons, oranges. Thank you so much, Ryan. That's great looking. Probably needs a little nutmeg. Thinking, wow, did people in colonial America really have access to these things that we kind of consider? Well, obviously, oranges and lemons, they don't grow on the East Coast of America unless you've got a really big greenhouse. Nutmegs obviously don't grow there. Did they have access to these things? Were they really, really expensive? These items were imported in great quantities, and like citrus fruit. I don't know exactly what it was coming from. I think some of it was coming from, Spain, Portugal, even the islands out in the Atlantic, Madeira and the Canary Islands, those kind of places. West Indies, growing citrus fruit and shipping them to the colonies. There's a lot of trade going on. We kind of think of it as, these colonies are there and they're just isolated and nothing's happening. There is a great quantity of commerce that is going on from Great Britain, from other parts of the world. Commerce going to the colonies. There's a lot of back and forth. Citrus fruit, very available. You'll see it in multiple different advertisements if you look in the magazines. I even I've been reading recently, this is a fun book, A Secret Diary of William Byrd. The Great American Gentleman. I don't know if I'd call him. Anyway, more than once in the book, and this is early, but like 1710, the colonies are not exactly, just giant at that point. He's talking about people giving him citrus fruit, oranges and lemons. So very available in the colonies, even though we might think, that would be very hard to come by. Oh, yeah, and nutmeg. Remember that 1812 inventory, Fort Wayne. This is deep frontier, and they've got cinnamon in stock. They've got nutmeg in stock. They have mace in stock, and it's, again, deep frontier. So those things are pretty available. Might be really expensive, but very available.
Somebody was going to ask in my list of questions here if you've ever read William Byrd's book.
There's a bunch of William Byrd information out there. The Secret Diary, there's the one where he's talking, and the Secret Diary is, it's secret, so it's got things in it that maybe, you wouldn't write about today. He's got some where he's talking about traveling in England. There's also the history of the line, the secret history of the line, and then the not so secret history of the line, where he's talking about that surveying the line between Virginia and North Carolina. There's a video about that. Great author who is telling us a lot about life.
I was just today when I was researching lemonade, I was looking at the routes that sugar was being shipped on, and it's pretty incredible to watch.
Oh yeah, it's sweet, all right. Woo.
Yeah. It is.
I like it. It's got a little bit of a kick to it.
Yeah, more. I'm not gonna say anything.
You're gonna say positive things?
Well, yes, very positive.
How great your drink is from the Nutmeg Tavern?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
All right. Speaking of kicks, let's get back to questions.
Yes.
Was there an alcoholic version of lemonade in the 18th century, like hard cider?
There were like thousands of alcoholic versions of, no, not really thousands, but I saw some mixed with white wine, some mixed with rum, some mixed with brandy. It seemed like anything that you had on hand could go into lemonade just fine.
Can you put nutmeg in lemonade, and will it permanently cure scurvy?
Let's find out.
Right here. This is live, everybody.
Yeah. Look out. Changes the aroma a little bit. I think I got a seed. Oh, yeah. I think actually that puts it right over the top.
Bet you do. I poured the lemonade through linen to get most of the seeds, but I got a couple escaped me. Sorry about that.
It's actually, I've got you put one of the things that shows up in the recipe is specifically talking about bringing the peel in. And, we talk about lemon zest, orange zest sometimes in recipes, but they're a lot more really sort of vocal about the flavor of lemons and oranges really is in the peel. And it's like, well, the pulp, yeah, you can use that, I guess. But what you really want is the peel and the zest. And they were kind of specific about that in this, that really that's bringing in a lot of that, the perfume of the citrus. And it is really good.
One recipe called for pairing all of your fruits and soaking the peels for 24 hours in the water first.
There you go. Yeah.
This question says, did you get the punch bowl I sent from the Museum of American Revolution?
It's time for for the next segment.
Hey, I thought it was...
Hey, Ryan, what's this box down here on the floor?
I don't know. It might have, I'm guessing it might have something...
From the museum.
Something in it.
Someone said there was a box that I had to open up here.
I've got a nice.
Let's find out what's in it.
Is that
No,
your loot crate?
I think I got it. Oh, sorry. Something.
Inside of that's a smaller box, and inside of that's a smaller box.
Do you need a knife, John?
No, I'll just, I use my teeth.
I've got a knife. Ryan's got a knife.
Just, sir.
All got a knife.
Yeah, Ryan, or Aaron, I'm sorry. Kyle's probably got about 14 knives on him, so
I
careful.
heard one
Just-
click open.
Just 3. Okay, just 3.
Oh, and the cool thing, another cool thing during this is the most amount of people we've had in the live stream ever.
Oh.
So
Hey,
There you
100th live stream and the big.
Thanks, everyone.
easy.
Thank you, everyone.
So, it's a punch bowl. I talked about this punch bowl, and then it just showed up, and I didn't even have to order it or anything. That's so cool. Thank you, whoever. Who was it? Who was it? That's something.
Huh?
Who?
I don't know.
Where
What,
Little Bunny Sunshine.
there we go. I knew the I knew
There
the
we go.
Instagram handle. I couldn't remember if it's the same.
Little Bunny Sunshine. Thank you so much for sending this really cool punch bowl. And you know what? If we had put,
The lemonade in the punch.
if we had put, let's say, alcoholic beverage in this lemonade, you would call it a punch, and you would serve it in a punch bowl.
I can
Just-
go ahead and promise next Friday there will be punch in that punch bowl.
The inside of it and the story on this punch bowl and the punch bowl design is just so really interesting. So the Museum of the American Revolution is built on this spot right in downtown Philadelphia, right at the historic district. And I don't know what was. Did she say what was setting in that location before
Yeah.
when they did
They
tore it
said it
down?
was an illegal tavern.
No. But right before they built the
Oh, geez, I don't
museum.
know.
I think she said it was just some random, commercial building, and so like, we want to build a museum. We're going to buy this like block or corner of the block. It's a big building, and they decided that after they tore that building down, that they would do archaeology on the spot, which is just such a great idea. Instead of just let's just wholesale dig a giant hole in the ground, forget about the history that's there, because there's so much history in that spot. Anyway, they did archaeology, and there's a book about the archaeology of the spot. And one of the things that was found, they had these pits, where they were go to the bathroom. Anyway,
Privies.
yeah, privies. That's where they would throw junk too. It's like, well, we're just going to throw old pottery, and there was a bunch of pottery. One of the pottery pieces that was found in the privies was this, not this punch bowl, but one just like it with this design on the inside. And they were wondering, oh, that's interesting. There's a ship. It says success to the Trifina. What is that? And just a little bit of research, and they find out that the Trifina was the ship that carried the message back to England about how upset we were with the Stamp Act. So it was sort of one of those, hey, fix a Stamp Act thing, and it was, hopefully we want success to this. And they would do punch bowls, which would have all sort of political messages and sometimes ship you would commission a new ship and you would have a commemorative punch bowl made. And in this case, they made a commemorative punch bowl for this particular thing. So I thought it was such a great story. And thank you so much for sending this to us. And we will make sure that there is punch used in this properly.
Oh yeah, it'll be in the tavern for all time.
Yeah.
It will.
Yes.
But I think after it gets punched the first time, it needs to be somewhere. It can't be back here. It's got to be on display.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Pretty awesome. Hey, how about
So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I shouted her out in chat too. Could you do some more donations real quick?
Yes, you can.
I only have a few. Man, that lemonade's killing you, isn't it?
You said you like the lemonade a lot?
I said I love this lemonade.
I'm enjoying it.
All right, here we go. Let me try to remember where I left off. It's been a while. The last one was the post-revolution, right?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so.
Got it. So this is from Marissa. Thank you. Any interest in doing an episode on the Kentucky Baker clan? John Renta Baker was on the Wilderness Road with Boone. His son Robert survived St. Clair's defeat, took part in the cattle wars. Good stuff. That sounds pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
There's
Really? Go
plenty
ahead.
of information about them too.
This is from Ed Camara. Thank you. So this is a really nice donation. Thank you so much. Congrats on the 100th live stream. Ever heard
Yes.
of Hold Fast Nations at War? I looked it up. I think it's a video game. Looks kind of cool. Like a strategy game, maybe. Thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much.
Game.
Time for a kiss. Thank you. Did
You thought that was the next segment of the show.
What?
did colonists have British accents? How did they lose them? That's a good question. Bryce Thorup, thank you. I just want to thank you for all the great years of great content. I look forward to many more great videos. Thank you. Appreciate
you so
that.
much.
Yeah. Tedder, thank you. Thanks for all the great content. Thank you for the donation.
Yes. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Max are cool again. Thank you so
Max.
much. Another congratulations. And to say we rarely discuss the 18th century at our home, and now we discuss 18th century topics many times each week and try new things based on your videos and blogs.
Wow.
Thanks. I
Wonderful.
appreciate that. Another donation from Dio Bando. Thank you. I hope these are all on purpose because it's a nice donation. Oh, it's not your rent. What is your favorite, most memorable recipe that you've done so far? Oh, that might be a repeat, but it's at the bottom. Well, we can. That's all I got for now. But thanks everyone. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. So like the idea, the baker.
Oh, real quick,
person-
Keltoid 5, thank you.
Yep, yep.
Congrats and thanks for the postage episode. Hey, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you, Keltoid 5.
Yeah.
Like this particular the Ballard, Martha Ballard story and the information that's here, there are hundreds, thousands of very, very illuminating and interesting stories of people going through the 18th century, going through the early 19th century. We miss them all. We get this in school. We get this overview and this like a 10,000 foot view of what's going on with history instead of getting the on the ground idea of what history was like if we lived there. And these stories are so important to digest and understand. I would love to cover more of those, and we will. I'm going to do my best to figure out how to tell those stories. They're harder to tell in a video situation, but I want to be able to do that. So we're gonna think about that idea. Hold Fast. It's a game. Hold Fast.
Yeah, I think it's a.
If it's strategy. If it's strategy.
Strategic.
I like this. I love those kind of games. So I'll take a look at it. Language and what's happening. There's a lot of different thought about the difference of language between the English and America and what's happening to it. And is our accent actually closer to what the 18th century? Well, I don't know about my accent, but is certain American accents, are they closer to what the English accent was in the time period, and then the English accent went away from what it did? Those are really, really good questions and some interesting ways to figure this out. And I think is very telling. And so I don't spell very well as a modern person. I was always in trouble in school for spelling. The funny thing is that spelling was not standardized in the 18th century, and quite often in the same letter or work, the author will spell a particular word 3 or 4 different ways. They didn't have a problem with, it's like, oh, I'm going to spell the word like I'm going to say it, right? But that really comes in handy when we want to understand what the accents were like in the 18th century, because the spelling will tell you how they said the word. So it's really fun to get a glimpse of how words were said in the 18th century by their, what we would call them, misspellings, but I don't call them misspellings at all. So I think it's a fascinating topic, and one that the spelling helps us understand.
Spelling was more like that now.
It is for me.
It's like less pretentious, that's for sure.
Yeah, I just spell along. When the computer unwrites it and says I spelled it wrong, whatever, I'll spell it the way I want to. We will do. So the next person, more videos. We'll do our best to keep giving you more fun videos, and we're thinking of more fun stuff to do all the time. And again, the best recipe. I think we covered that. I think we did. Did we?
We did, but we should probably do a go around in case they weren't on when.
Yeah.
If it was a repeat question.
I really suggest checking out fried chicken. I really suggest the beef that I did on the string video. Whoa, that was so simple and so good.
I know. At home.
Yeah.
The one that we make most at home is the onion soup.
The onion soup.
It's really good.
So
recipe.
that's an interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that one, but that's been so long.
It has, but it's like it's got egg in it, so it's a different kind of onion soup than I was used to drinking, and it's really great.
Yeah. What was Aaron's favorite one?
They always pop in my head like after the fact.
Yeah.
But do you remember the roast beef one we did out with the Dutch oven?
That was the pot roast, 1794.
With the mushrooms and
the
the carrots and the gravy. I always remember that one. That was great.
I think the one that surprised me the most on how good it was artichoke, probably. That one was really good.
Fried artichokes,
Yeah.
So, and of course, anything that's all sugary and, not quite as sugary as this, but.
So I was surprised with stockfish and how it came out. I know I say stockfish a lot, but seriously.
Well, if you saw it and smelled it, and then tried the final recipe.
So I still have some stockfish left, right? And the other day I was in the storage unit and going through looking for a particular thing for a video, and I accidentally opened up the box that has the stockfish in it. It's like, what happened? Something died. Oh, it's the stockfish box. I forgot.
You immediately turned into the skeleton guy at the end of Indiana Jones. Okay, so we'll get back into questions, but real quick, let's talk about this CD and the music that's playing.
So, the Sons of Liberty, 3 young brothers that do just excellent job doing fiddle and cello music, 18th century style. This is our second CD. Great guys to interact with, a fun family. And a wonderfully produced CD of period music. If you're interested, you can hear some of it playing now, and you can find their CD on our website.
Yep, and I'm throwing a link to all of the CDs.
You'll send the link.
All right, Kyle, what you got?
Yeah. Okay. When did they start using postage stamps?
I think there was some. See, I didn't look that up, but somebody looked it up in the comments. I think they said 1830s, but I didn't look it up.
Since the old Q&A video on biscuits and gravy, have you found any more on how the dish came to be?
I forgot about that.
I was actually thinking about it very recently as I was going through a French cookbook, and I think there's some. I think there's some roots in that and the ragouts, which are sort of thick, saucy meat dishes. in that 18th century time period. I think that's where that's coming from, but I'm not sure. So no, I haven't found that next link in the chain to take us back in time.
How did they preserve lemons in the 18th century?
Sometimes they preserved them in salt. Other times they hung them up. They would string them up through that little nub end and make sure that they didn't touch each other, and then they would be all right. Yeah, I think you can also just pack them in sand. They're actually really, as a fruit goes, they're one of the easiest ones to sort of preserve. And they also had strange things like lemon pickle, which someday I want to do an episode on, but I need about 6 months of prep time with lemon pickle, so it's not going to happen in the short.
Was
time.
making sweetmeats a way of preserving?
Yeah,
would they
sure.
repurpose that later?
Sure.
Okay.
Will you be doing any more cooking involving recipes of enslaved persons?
I might, but because of the connection there, I like to connect with folks who are doing that. So that really has to do with different folks that we would interact with and do episodes with.
How many employees do you have, and who has been there the longest? I won't ask who your favorite is, even though we all know it's Kyle.
Well, I don't think that's what it said,
Did
but
you
anyway.
just
Not what
put
it
your
is.
own name
I
in
put
there?
that.
Did you?
No. Yes, I did.
Well, I mean, a lot of folks here on the live stream are only connected or understand what we do here as it happens on YouTube. But there's more to the business, which has to do with the selling of 18th and 19th century reproduction items, and it's a long-term family business, and the video channel is sort of this offshoot of it. The business as it stands has about 30-ish employees. A lot of them are seamstresses that work at home making items. So, and oldest.
Who's been here the longest?
Not counting family people.
No,
Yeah, I
but
would
we've
not
got
include
somebody
them.
that's over 20 years.
Well, I don't. Josh has been here a long
Yeah,
time.
Josh is. Yeah.
Was Sonya here before Josh?
I don't know.
She's been here a while. And I know a couple of the seamstresses have been
Yeah,
here for a
oh,
long
yeah.
time,
There's
too.
some seamstresses that have been around for a long time. I don't count.
18,
So
20 years isn't pushing it, that's for sure.
you're right.
Yeah.
Did they do crafts back then in the 18th century? And if they did, what kind of crafts did they do?
Oh, a lot. I mean, a lot of the things that I don't know. It depends on how you're using the word craft,
Right.
and if you're using it as a lot of times what we consider a craft is something that isn't necessarily very, very useful. We would do them as a craft, but in the 18th century, it was something that was a day-to-day requirement. So, little tiny woodworking or, knitting, but that was a day-to-day necessity in the time period. So they had a lot of different items, things that they would do: knitting, weaving, spinning, all kinds of woodwork things. So working with wildcraft kind of items, going out in the woods and gathering up things. Something as simple as braiding or plaiting up of straw to make hats out of, are a lot of things like that.
All right, so we need to move into
Woo.
talk about Patreon.
Yes.
And then I think Aaron's got some donations before the lightning round.
Okay. Oh boy. And did we miss any of the other
Nope,
things on
we
our
got
list? Okay,
everything.
good. Patreon is incredible. We have. I wasn't able to do Patreon last week, so I've got a long list of new Patreon folks: Bruce Perry, Candace Dainty, Cassandra O'Brien, Francisco Hassan, William Langman, Ethan Paleo Permaculture Farm, Catherine Turner, Rosen Cavalier, Alan Joyce, Catriona Silcock, Alex Dodge, and Michael. Our new Patreon supporters. We have something like
That's awesome.
530 Patreon supporters. You folks that support us that way, thank you so much. You help us do things like go to Philadelphia
Yep.
so that we
Yeah.
can make videos. And we are able to do that because of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right, donations, Aaron.
Let's
What we
do it.
got?
Got a few more, and we'll see if any more come in as I'm reading them, because that's been happening. Actually, I only have 3.
It's
This
just
should
so
go pretty
difficult
quick.
back there. I
It's
know.
just, so hard. Hardest thing I've ever done. Snazzy Butterfly, thank you.
Thank you.
I really love that name. I know it's come through before.
Snazzy Butterfly. Hopefully it's it's like your PSN tag or something, or like your Xbox Live account.
Let
me read this donation.
Beverage.
Are you guys planning on doing a spinning yarn / crafting episode in the future? Yeah, I'd like to.
Crafting.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm trying to water this lemonade down to something I could actually swallow.
I cut the sugar in half from
gosh.
what the recipe called for.
I've got the bottom of it over here, John, so it's kind of like,
It's
a,
like,
woo.
Kyle's drinking a simple syrup.
Right. All right.
Good.
Brilliant Love 2, thank you. Is the rust and peacock colored Nutmeg Tavern mug still in stock? I plan on purchasing one and a few other things later on this evening. Greetings from Minnesota, and again, thank you. I don't know.
do we know?
I'm not sure. Kyle,
Yeah, Kyle might know.
The peacock, I am not sure that we have any more peacock.
This is probably the last one in the whole world.
Probably.
They go quick when we do them. And I got one more. Henry Johnston, thank you.
Thank you.
Could you do a show on Native American food like acorns, cattails, muskrats, hominy grits, succotash?
We've done a few. We've done a couple of succotash episodes. Was there pemmican? Obviously, is very, very.
that parched corn.
Yeah, the parched corn. Although I want to revisit that, and we've got some more information on that. That's always tricky.
It's one of those things like you were talking about with the enslaved
Right.
people. If you're working with Native American food from the time period, get a hold of us. We'd like to hear from you.
Right.
What about the parched corn? Would that kind of fall into that category?
I mentioned that, but yes, exactly.
Oh, you did?
Exactly.
Sorry, I was reading.
That's all right. Yeah, popcorn, parched corn. And the question about, we did a couple, you got to go way back in the catalog of videos. We did with Karen Hanlon on the spinner, the spinstress or the spinster.
Wow.
Those are. I think that those were done in like 2014, probably.
Yeah,
Maybe
they're old.
They need to be remade.
Yeah,
I would say.
they were very difficult to shoot
And we are
at
in
the
a
time.
rush, too.
Yeah.
Well, you can't talk about a more pleasant person to do a video with.
Right.
Yeah,
But yeah,
she's awesome.
she's wonderful.
Yep.
So there's a little bit there.
Yeah, it's in there
but
somewhere.
love to do a lot more on that.
Yep. Lightning round? I think I got everything.
Are you
Here we
ready?
go.
Are you ready to strike me with lightning?
I'm so ready. I have a ton of lightning
I
round
hope you
questions,
have like
actually.
30 questions. That'd be awesome.
30, not so much,
In
but
2 minutes.
a good amount. Okay, here we
All
go.
right.
How many products do you manufacture in-house?
Over half of what we sell is clothing. We make it in-house-ish. I mean, local seamstresses.
Next.
60 to 65% of our catalog.
Okay.
Did they decorate outhouses back in the day?
I hope not.
Where is the best place to buy sewing patterns for authentic 18th century clothing? Called Townsend's.
Yeah, we do have some clothing patterns.
Did they wear hats indoors, John?
Yes.
Do you know any 18th century jokes?
Did you see the one? That
No.
dad joke?
I didn't. What are you talking about?
I
Oh
thought you
no,
were
I
gonna say that guy in
must have
chat.
missed it.
I'm gonna say. I was looking. I thought I saw a book today. Oh no, I did. Yes, I sent the link to Hillary. In fact, it was full of like ballads, and some of them were like jokes. So yeah,
There you go.
I'm not gonna tell them.
I'm reading it right now.
I was going through song titles, and I think every song title from the 18th century is a joke.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yes.
All right.
Did people leave to join the Native Americans?
Yes.
When will we finally see the cowhead recipe?
I don't think I could do it. I just don't think I can do it. I don't think I could. I don't think YouTube. I think YouTube would explode. And I don't know that if
might be right.
I want to eat a cow's face. So
You're not the one. You don't want to be the one that makes.
Yeah, I don't.
Explode.
I don't want to be the guy who broke the internet.
Was legal work conducted in taverns?
Yes. Oh yeah. A lot of times they will do court in taverns. Sure.
Has the boar on the sign been named? He looks like a Herman to me.
Herman.
Herman.
I'll have to ask around on that one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
All right, and my last lightning round question. What are the plans for when you hit 1 million subscribers?
We're not sure.
We're cooking up some special stuff.
The problem is it could happen at like 4 a.m. and we wouldn't even know. That's the biggest fear right now.
If it happened at 4 a.m, I would know.
Would you?
Usually
Get
Oh,
an
that's
alarm
fair.
or something? Sirens go off.
Ryan's
and
actually
We'll do some kind of live stream celebration. We got some ideas.
We've talked about special things, but we're not settled.
the problem is it's coming up so quickly. I don't know what you guys are doing out there
Right.
on the interwebs, but like watching
It's
every
happening
video
faster
12
than-
times or
it's
something.
happening quicker than
It's
we
like
thought it would.
taking an iPad to family dinner and saying,
Yeah.
telling everybody hit subscribe.
Hit the
Hit it
subscribe.
now.
But
Well, for a while it was like, oh, mid like November, I think,
Yeah.
and now it's like moved up a month and a half. And it's
Yeah.
like, oh shoot, we need to. What are we gonna do?
yes,
We,
incredible.
Yeah,
yeah.
So what do you guys think of the lighting? Aaron was playing with the lighting.
yeah. I want to
You like the lighting now better like this or not?
How does the important question is how's the bartender?
Well, we need to
look?
work on the bar if we're gonna do it like this.
How
We'll
does
have to
the
switch it up.
bartender?
He's in the
look?
dark back there. What? Not, that may be why this drink is made like he couldn't see what he was doing.
Oh,
I followed
Man.
the recipe, sir,
yes.
and I made it less sweet.
Yes,
cool.
that must be it.
Parson John and Maggie say much better. I didn't know it was that bad before.
Well, there we go.
All right, cool.
Just tell you.
I think that's it. I think, right?
I think we did
Oh, we
it.
got it.
So it's been a wonderful Friday. Thank you guys for coming along and coming into the Nutmeg Tavern, joining us today as we interact with all these different things in history. We kind of try to connect with it, try to understand it. It's impossible to understand completely, but we can only kind of get a grip on it when we look at these little things, different people's lives, or even something as simple as, if they made a bowl to commemorate this. Wait, we don't do that today, do we?
Well,
Maybe a T-shirt,
And
right?
That's what I was gonna say. It's like the T-shirt of today.
Yeah. So it's so much fun to interact with these things and interact with the food. I don't know about the lemonade, but all the other food things that we do.
Everyone drank it with a smile on their face.
Yeah, they
except
did.
for you.
Because their teeth
I
were.
enjoyed it.
They liked sugar in the 18th century. We know that for sure.
So you guys are why we do this. If nobody came into the tavern, we would just shut the door and lock it, and we would walk away. But you guys are there. You help us do what we do. Thank you so much for your incredible help, whether you support us through Super Chat, just watching our videos, you support us that way, your wonderful comments, the Patreon folks. Thank you, everyone, for all you do. Thank you guys, too. Thanks for watching today.